Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Paola High School, Paola Sports Live, presented by Go Brawley. Just into our pink out game here from Paola is Tonganoxie getting set here for a free kick from deep in Paola territory. Joined here today along with Reed McAvoy. Reed, how are you doing?
I am doing great. It's nice to follow this Paola team. I'm interested to see how they do. I got to commentate their game on Tuesday in Lewisburg, and here I am watching them play again.
And real quickly into the action, and we've already got a goal on the board. Tonganoxie just a little over 2 minutes into the actual play and just a couple of seconds into our broadcast here, Reed, as we had a couple of issues here in the early goings. And, of course, kickoff starting a nice 30 minutes early as a result of the JV game getting... Well, some mercy was shown, as they like to say.
Yes, it was a 10-0 final. The second it hit halftime, it was the rule of the second half 10-goal difference, and that game was immediately over.
As Tonganoxie already jumping out 1-0 in this one, Varsity hoping to capitalize on some of that momentum that their JV built up in the first game. But Paola coming into today, 0-14 on the year. They're minus 85 in the goal differential for the season, but they've got a nice showing out here today. It's the pink out game, Reed. What does Paola need to do to get this season turned around here tonight?
Well, one of the star players that unfortunately was in a tough losing effort on Tuesday for Paola is their goalkeeper, Levi Ballou. He was making some very impressive saves. He even had multiple double saves where he saved and then saved the rebound. It was a very impressive game from him back there. And if Paola wants to have a good result today, they're going to need a good performance from Levi Ballou.
As they'll try to get this thing out of their own end. But Tonganoxie nicely played to keep it in. Paola will chase it down into their own far corner and sending it out of play. This will be a Tonganoxie throw-in, I believe.
Yes. Tongi comes in 5-7-1. They won their last game, which was yesterday. That was a 4-1 win over Baser Linwood. So they might be coming in a bit tired, but Paola's also on a short rest here today.
And don't believe what Max Prep is telling you. What was it you found out that the schedule said that they had played earlier today?
Yeah, the schedule said that other game was today, but as far as I can tell from my masterful research of, I guess, X, I was calling it Twitter, it seemed to indicate that game occurred yesterday, which was the fifth win.
More realistic.
Yeah, fifth win on the season for Tonganoxie. Snapped a little short losing streak. They might be able to get a win streak going here today if they could put a second one in a row.
Paola's goaltender came well out of the net, was nearly hung out to dry, but his defense able to play it upfield for him.
Something I would be remiss if I didn't mention is the suspension of the defender Connor Barnum. It's actually funny. He's in the booth next to me here. He got a second yellow a couple days ago against Lewisburg, and I'm going to let you take this one here for a second, Aaron.
As action comes down into the Paola end, sent across the field, and that one just a little bit too far for anyone to be able to play it. But as you were talking about there, Reed.
Yeah, Connor Barnum, the word I used before he had gotten either yellow card was ever present. He was all over the field making very nice plays, keeping Paola in it. And then he was maybe a little bit too ever present with a couple separate yellow card offenses, getting him a red card and a one-game suspension. Paola's offense, though, really opened up after they went down to 10 men. It was very interesting to see. The coach said to spread out their offense. It did result in them ending up conceding a couple more goals, but it really opened up the game, and it made it a lot of fun to watch.
As Paola's goaltender able to hop onto that one. And it is odd, Reed, how sometimes that desperation can create that much-needed energy from time to time. As we've said on several broadcasts before, the game's not always played on paper. Sometimes things that shouldn't work can find a way to just energize a team, and you get weird stuff like that happening. But here Paola has played much of this game on the defensive end to start, and we've mentioned it on several of our broadcasts, Reed, that concept of
momentum.
Momentum.
It's the run of play is the official soccer term for it. It is. It's honestly somewhat confusing how big run of play is in soccer because it's not a game where you need to have a momentous drive akin to football. you can, have one nice long ball, someone falls on it, and you can create a goal, and that does happen. There are such things as goals against the run of play, and they are absolutely killer if you concede that type of goal. But run of play, just momentum, having the ball at your feet is so big in this game. And it seems like whenever a team has the run of play, that they really don't give it up. They just keep it until some sort of break happens, whether that's halftime or an injury. And then sometimes run of play will switch sides. But yeah, no, you're exactly right. Momentum is huge, and that's something Paola have just been lacking all season, unfortunately.
As once again, it'll be a goal kick coming from the Panthers. We just harked on it a little bit, so maybe not the best time to just keep on drilling it in. But I don't know that we've really seen the ball cross that 50-yard, which is officially the 60 on a soccer pitch. But
right.
That 50-yard line here today, that Panther logo is being kept nice and clean, and I think Paola is going to want to really find a way to shift that here. As we're only 8 minutes in, plenty of game left to be played. But this is a 1-0 deficit that has really been threatening for a few minutes now to expand.
I'll talk more on that and what I saw in the Lewisburg game after this corner.
That one ends up out of play, so that one went behind the goal. Reed, as you were saying.
Yeah, so in that game on Tuesday, I talked about it. Lewisburg is a team, they're not great. They only had 3 wins coming in. They ended up getting their 4th, but they had never come into a game as the favorites as they did on Tuesday. And so they were sort of uncomfortable with having the run of play. Their passes weren't great. They didn't know what to do with themselves, it seemed almost. And it turned into a lot of good counter chances for Paola where they were winning possession around midfield, and they were able to launch it up. It was mainly one of the, let me get my roster sheet here. It was Sawyer Holdsworth that was often on the end of those balls. You also could have seen Solis, who has a couple goals on the season, the top scorer for Paola. They really did get down the field, especially after that red card, interestingly, which was actually nice to see, and I would love to see a little bit more of that from Paola. They might have had some experience with those counterattacks now just a couple days ago, so it should be fresh in the mind, and maybe they can use it to capitalize and create some chances today.
As Paola will take this throw in from deep in their own territory. That one off the shoulder of one of the Tonganoxie forwards that looked like it was Silas Kirchhoff, the junior, who nudged that one out of play. So Paola inching their way forward for a better throw-in, but now a scoring chance blocked in front by the Panthers. Rebound opportunity went just wide.
That was not at all a bad shot from Gavin Shoup, the senior, who has scored one this season. Something else that was I guess you could say the title of the game, the theme of the game on Tuesday was unnecessary turnovers. It was from both sides because Lewisburg were uncomfortable with the run of play. Paola haven't really had that momentum at all this season. And so both teams didn't really know what to do with themselves when they had the ball at their feet. I would definitely like to see Paola, when they get the ball, try to figure that out, take the calm pass, get to the open player, and try to turn the ball downfield.
As this one will be brought in by Columbano. And I just know that I got that one wrong, but
well,
I'll try my best.
The PA announcer said Columbia, so you did better than that. At least getting those consonants is important.
Yeah, you just get this automatic sense that if you chop something up into its syllables, you've probably gotten it incorrect. But regardless, shot ended up ultimately being saved here by Coram, and now it'll be playable for Paola. Coming to the near side. Nicely played here initially by Van Middlesworth, who gets it back to the center. And now Tonganoxie trying to create an opportunity, and it ends up in the corner, but it will be the Chieftains, the first ones to it. Now toward the sideline and out of play. Looked for a moment there like Carter Watson, the sophomore, was going to have an opportunity to try to center that thing back up, but instead off of a Paola foot, and will reset.
Here's a chance for Paola.
Columbano sent it back. This one ends up right past the goal line. We'll get a goal kick coming up here for the Panthers. From what you're seeing, Reed, you got a great soccer background and expertise here in the booth. What is it that you're seeing from Paola that if you were on their sideline, if you were on their bench, you think would need to be emphasized or changed here to try to get the run of play going back in the other direction?
Yeah, the biggest thing is calmer passes. They often clear the ball, which sometimes is necessary. I'm not against clearing the ball as a former defender myself, but just trying to maintain possession. I'm going to let
Shot
you take
on
this
goal,
shot
and
here.
that one finds its way into the back of the net. Sorry to cut you
No,
off there,
absolutely.
Reed.
That was a very nice shot from the freshman Quinton Barnes. Puts the second goal on the board already for Tonganoxie.
Incredible shot from the, that was his front foot there near side, but it was also a spectacular pass to feed him the ball.
Really gave Baloo no chance there in goal. He was who I highlighted, and he's been all right so far, really. I mean, the 2 goals were very tough, stuff you would not really expect him to save, but sometimes those goalkeepers' jobs are to subvert your expectations, but those were a couple tough shots there. He just couldn't make the saves, and now a 2-goal lead for the opponents. It's already going to be tough to try to get back in this match today.
Yeah, and obviously, as we've talked about, the goaltender's been busy on the Paola end. How much of it is just pure kind of almost an exhausting experience as a goaltender when you know that about 95% of the game is going to be played on your end? Is there any sort of a mental or physical aspect to, as that one gets blocked off the dome there, James Haley? Sometimes you got to use the cheek.
It can certainly be very frustrating because, as a goalkeeper, and as everybody who is the main character of their own story, you feel like that goal score, that score line will reflect on you, whereas it might just be how your team performed over the day. Really, that defense's job is to keep the goalkeeper from having to do anything. The goalkeeper is the last line of defense. You hope that he doesn't have to be too involved. But, whenever they are, of course, goalies want to be called upon. I've been that goalie as well. Here's a chance.
That one was almost found its way onto a couple of hairdos, but skimmed off everybody and ends up as another Paola goal kick.
I've been that goalie as well that actually wants to get a chance. You've been a little bored if your team is doing really well in the game and you want to prove that you belong there and make a save to hype up your team and hype up yourself. But certainly if you're being relied on too much, it means your defense is not doing what you need them to. And then with every goal after that, you'll get more and more frustrated at the people in front of you who want to try to help you out. And it can just be a poor situation when it comes to lopsided soccer matches for sure.
As Paola will try to get this thing back near midfield, but once again on the goal kick. And this also seems to be a theme. And it's not just been a theme for Paola, but a lot of the games that we've covered, Reed, you can usually tell, just as that one ends up just wide of the net, you can often tell who it is that's really taking control of a game based on whose team is able to handle their own goal kicks better. And that's just something I've been noticing here at the high school level. You'll often see when the run of play starts getting away from one of these teams, it feels like they can never get that long ball complete to one of their own guys. It's just fielded by the defense and right back into their own zone.
As really just happened there, it was actually the ball was actually nicely passed to Zayden Solis, the leading scorer, and then his pass was inaccurate for his own teammate.
That was nearly another brilliant scoring opportunity
Here's
for
Barnes.
Here's
a nice chance, though.
As Paola will try to get it upfield and just letting that one leak a little too far to the left. It ends up out of play. Nearly took a stroll up the sidewalk there, but
there's something, I didn't fully finish that thought when you asked about what would I have this team be doing, and I was talking about distribution, those simpler passes, balls to feet, just getting it to the guy who's opened in order to maintain possession. And I'll let you take this one.
That one right into the hands there of Bellew.
Loved that technique though from Aiden Van Middlesworth. That was a nice volley there.
That was. Considering the awkward positioning of his body, that was an excellent shot on goal.
Absolutely. But yeah, certainly you're right that the goalkeeper distribution is huge because especially when you're on the back foot, goalkeeper's going to have the ball in their hands a lot. And if you know what you're doing from that position, if you can get it to players who can get it downfield, that can be huge for creating counterattack chances. And because Paola don't seem to have that ability, that's why they're stuck on the back foot in all of these games this season.
As Tonganoxie will try to turn this into another scoring opportunity. They've had plenty. They've capitalized on two. And if they can get this one centered up, that'll be more danger for the Panthers. And finally, Paola able to get it, well, not quite to midfield, but at least out of their own goal box. They had some pressure mounting there for a moment just a little bit ago, but ultimately Tonganoxie able to get it back onto this end of the field.
I would be interested to see Solis, number 8, there drop back a little bit from that midfield spot, just in case any ball happens to bounce loose, that he could go and grab it. I mean, if you're gonna leave someone forward, you'd hope they'll still be involved somehow. And so far, he's just been sort of ghosting out there.
As Tonganoxie
Here's a
initially
chance, though.
maintained control, and now here comes Paola the other way, but that one a little too far.
Pass was too heavy. Again, not going to feet, which, of course, when it comes to the attack, a ball into space can be huge for allowing your teammate to run onto it, but he put much too much power on that and ended up turning it over immediately.
It's the finesse.
Yeah.
That's what you need to be able to harness, as that one ended up out of play off the foot of the Paola defense. Should end up out of play again off the head of the Paola defense. And back-to-back Tonganoxie throw-ins incoming.
So something I think that might already be out of the picture here. I marked down that Paola has once this season held their opponent to under 3 goals. And here with 2 already and an extremely close opportunity there that potentially had Baloo beaten there, I think that one might be out of the question, unfortunately. Maybe the goal becomes trying to avoid the fate of the JV squad, which was a mercy rule. But, again, that's a little bit dark and dreary, so let's not focus on that for now.
As this shot ends up...
Oh, my word.
Nice shot, I believe, went over
the
top. It somehow did that, which...
I'm really not sure how that happened.
I've often joked that should be worth 3 goals if you can somehow fit it between the football crossbar and the soccer crossbar.
That would be... I would be for that, actually.
That was incredible, but ultimately counts for nothing. It's just something to go onto your little personal YouTube highlight reel at the end of the season, if you choose to make one.
That's what it seemed like Lewisburg was going for on Tuesday. They took a lot of shots from 20, 30 yards out. I was like, man, you could get down on goal and actually score some, but I think they were trying to get something they could show on tape and get a scholarship for, potentially.
As Tonganoxie will play it in again. Reed, as a former defenseman, how many times has this shot ends up on goal? Nicely
nice
defended there by Baloo. How many times were you ever on goaltender cleat retying duties? Was that ever asked of you?
That's a good... I know when I was goalie, which was less than when I was defender, I did have to do that a couple times. I'm also just not great at tying my shoes, to be honest. But I don't know if I ever ended up tying somebody else. I've done it as a referee as well, to just completely not answer your question how you meant me to. But I don't think I've ever done it as the defender for a goalie. Here's a chance.
Dangerous chance here will leak itself out of
Poked out well by Paola there.
But yeah, a second ago, it looked like Baloo had a bit of a tire blowout, but he's got those big bulking Mickey Mouse gloves on as the goaltender. Kind of hard to get those little laces tied up around, so I had to ask a teammate for help. And thankfully, both shoes back on, as action is back on here for him, and he's made a couple of nice saves since the pit crew stop, as this one ends up near side. Could be another chance here for Tonganoxie. Near side corner. It was lightly tapped towards Baloo, who falls on top of it and makes the save.
I would have liked to see Xander Holdsworth have more intention with that clear. He ended up just poking it out to the corner, which presented Tongi with another chance. Thankfully, Baloo was able to gather and take it from him. But when it comes to clearances, you got to be very intentional with him, and I don't think that he was putting too much thought into that one. Just getting it away from the goal, which is respectable, but could have helped his team stay out of danger a little bit more.
You got to appreciate too. We haven't seen too much of him here today, but the Tonganoxie goalkeeper here tonight seems to be in the pink out spirit.
Yeah, which is interesting. That could potentially clash at some point, but I guess referee has okayed it. There's a nice clear.
That one will end up out of play. This should be a Tungi throw-in, and it is. So Tonganoxie will reset the offense once again. I mean, at this point, you might be running out of offensive plays to run off your throw-ins if you're Tonganoxie, but you know what? What you've been drawing up has been working. No need to go too deep into your book here.
Somebody who just subbed on the field, number 39, Kylie Park, a freshman defender. She is one of a few different females on this roster for Paola. Just subbed in here. I didn't see who it was that came off, but just wanted to highlight that. Something interesting that you don't see very often in boys varsity sports is girls.
And Paola has a few of them that will play quite a bit of varsity playing time. Kylie, though, has the distinction of also being a freshman that plays quite a bit of varsity minutes for Paola.
which there are a couple more of, Nora Scroggy and Brooklyn Davey, as well as, no, excuse me, she's a junior. So those two that I listed there, a couple more freshman females on this team. My favorite of their female players has got to be Bailey Drake, the sophomore forward. She actually was very impactful on the game against Lewisburg. She was part of that impact after they went down to 10, and it was very interesting to see her impact on the game. She really played like she was going to earn every minute out there on the field, and it's great when you have any player that plays like that.
As that one ended up into the waiting arms of Bellew once again. Now that is one thing about this Paola squad, is only 4 seniors on the entire team, so it's a very young team, which could be the silver lining here on an otherwise mostly rain cloud-filled season, 0-14 coming into tonight. But there's a lot of youth and a lot of promise toward the future for this Paola squad. It's just going to be a matter of developing everybody and make sure that as the years go by, you turn this youth into a well-clicking, well-oiled machine in future seasons.
You're saying they're getting a very valuable experience, yeah? That's what I'm hearing? Yes, absolutely true. And I have, again, to talk on my experience, been a part of this team. I was a part of my high school's. It was a revival of our soccer team. We hadn't had one for the last few years, and so we had a very struggling program, a lot of inexperience. And it was tough. We only won one game. The only game I played goalie, by the way. I'm just saying. And it was it was a good experience though. It was tough. It was upsetting, but we were laying the foundation for the future of our school. And now in both soccer and football, a couple sports that we helped get off the ground. We struggled so that the future generations of the same school could continue to find success. So it is very respectable what these Paola Panthers are doing. Not that they're founding this team, but going through a tough season, it's not for nothing. They are going to be gaining valuable experience for sure, as human beings as well.
Yes, and as Tonganoxie brings it back in, another shot from distance, not quite on goal, but leaking just to the left of it. That's another thing, though, that Tonganoxie has brought here today. You can tell that they are not afraid to shoot at any point, and they are getting a lot of shots, at the very least, in the vicinity of the goal. Even when they're not able to get a quality scoring chance on, they're at least making the goaltender sweat a little bit out there.
Which, I'll be real, from what I've seen from Levi Bellew in goal, I don't think that is actually their best avenue for trying to beat him. Not that it won't work, because I did see Emmett White score a couple very impressive goals, but they were both top right unsavable. You could get a professional goalkeeper out there, and they're not saving that thing. So unless Tonganoxie can pull off one of those shots, I think those shots from distance just give Bellew enough time to react to it and get in position. And from what I have seen from him, he is very capable of saving those longer distance shots.
As I believe that is Jose Moreno in goal for Tonganoxie.
It is, yes.
Might as well give him a shout out. Only his second touch of the ball here today, I do believe. As Tonganoxie tries to get it back over midfield, and Paola able to keep it temporarily on the Chieftains side before it's chipped back deep into Paola's end and now played along that far sideline. Tonganoxie tried to keep it in to no avail, so a Paola throw-in incoming.
That was Caleb McMillan shielding the ball there and winning the throw. Nice from him. I think another a smaller victory, we talked about trying to keep it under a mercy rule, which I think so far they're looking pretty likely to. Something else could be a goal, just getting on the score sheet. They've only got 5 this season. That's, a very low, unfortunately low tally. That was a okay shot there. Bellew wasn't sure if it was going in or not, wobbled his legs, but falls wide in the end. I think that getting a goal would be very nice. And against a team with 7 losses against Tonganoxie, it is not an impossibility that they could do so, but they need to start finding a way to get forward. They've barely crossed the 50-yard line in control of the ball, so something will have to change, but if it does, then maybe something good could happen there.
And obviously on top of that, we're saying all this, there is 55 minutes left to be played. It's only a 2-goal game.
Right.
If Paola can just get things going on to the other end, as we say, the sports are never played on paper. Paola has looked the lesser of the 2 squads to this point in the game, but there is a lot of soccer left to be played, and we're going to see if Paola can't. Sometimes it really is as simple as, especially with a young team like this, as we've mentioned, get that first win under your belt. And sometimes then things just start clicking. You feel better. When you feel better, you play better. And for Paola, we'll see if that's all that there is to it. Try to get that first win. And right now they're keeping close here with the Chieftains. See if you can climb back into this thing, get a decision in your favor, and see where that takes you as the season and then seasons in the future go along.
I'm a little bit perplexed by the involvement of Zayden Solis, the top scorer. He got a couple goals in the game that was just about 5 days ago versus Circle. He's standing at that 50-yard line the whole time, and then even just about a minute ago, Paola gained possession of the ball, and then when the ball was played to him, he didn't run to it very hard. I'm just a little bit confused because I know he's a great player. I saw him have a huge impact in the game on Tuesday. And it's just a little bit interesting that I assume Coach Gallagher has told him to do something along the lines of what it is that he's doing. And I just find that a little bit intriguing.
Now, I heard a whistle before the
Yeah, I assume it went out past the back line over there.
Yeah, so even if they had been able to get a shot off on goal on that center, wouldn't have mattered. So Paola from their own end, goal kick upcoming.
You know, just as I said all of that I just said about Solis, I'm remembering Nora Scroggy, who's another one of the females on this team, played that exact same role. I was sort of confused by it. It was number 4, just was never involved, but she was always on the field. Whatever role that is, it seems that Solis has filled into it. I'm not sure what it is that Coach Gallagher is going for there. I'd love to, give it a chance and see it pay off, but he's clearly got something in mind. I'm not quite sure what it is in my time experience with soccer. An amazing shot there. Sorry, Aaron, go ahead and take that.
Nicely shot there by Emery Weiser. Went to the far side, and I mean, that thing was a manicured fingernail away from potentially being number 3 on the day for Tonganoxie. Just happened to whisk slightly to the right there.
Baloo knew it was close. You could tell he dove desperately just to make sure, as every goalie should. Dive at the stuff just a little bit wide because you don't want to be wrong and have it be inside the post. Weiser, who took that shot, has a couple goals on the season. He was looking for his 3rd there, and the way that he got the curvature on that shot, he was really not far away.
They were just hoping and praying for one real strong gust of wind coming back this direction. That might have been enough to do it, but as it stands, ended up being a goal kick, but Tonganoxie has been able to get it right back into the Paola end. However, that one goes a little too far, and it will be, once again, a Paola goal kick upcoming.
And I'll say it again that those long shots is clearly what Tonganoxie are okay with taking. I really just don't think that's going to be their best way to get it done. But also, they're playing with a 2-goal lead, so they have the freedom to play how they want, see if they can make something come off that would be really impressive. And they're definitely going for it. I just don't know if Levi Baloo is going to let it happen.
As this one ends up around the 35-yard line there, as Paola will try to play it upfield and losing it again along that far sideline. And now Tonganoxie will try to create a scoring chance, but the ball leaks its way just outside the paint.
Another one of those of the Paola girls just got subbed in, 37, Danica Jakowski. She is a junior. She's listed as a defender, playing more of a midfield role at the moment.
As we'll wait for the new ball. And the ball boys will chase down the last one. Paola throw in incoming. They'll go back to their own defense. Tonganoxie puts the pressure on.
There's another example of not controlling the ball when they could have. Under no pressure there, defender went ahead and cleared it. Could have played across the back line and really just tried to stay on top of the ball. It might be harsh to say as that was all ball, no foul, but I'm really not a huge fan of the Paola tactics in this match. Here's Solis, though.
Almost had an opportunity there for a one-on-one coming in on a break, but Tonganoxie's defense rallied nicely. And I believe also part of that was, I think he got slowed down a little bit by having to try to settle that wildly bouncing ball there for a moment. Gave Tonganoxie just enough time to get a white shirt back on top of him.
That was good, though. The positioning that he's been maintaining, that far side of the field, ended up being a great spot to take some space in front of him and try to get onto the end of a through ball. And that was the biggest chance to say the Paola have had so far, the furthest they've gotten downfield. So certainly a positive sign there.
trying to turn that into some momentum for the Panthers. Now it's along that far sideline, and it ends up into the track.
Oh, he did. Wow. I saw the Paola player attempt to put it out off the Tongi player. I thought that his attempt did not work, but the referee said it didn't. That's standing right there, so I believe that's the correct call. Good for him.
He's got a slightly better vantage point than we do from over there.
Yeah.
So
that's nice to earn a Paola throw. Something happens a lot in the pros where you try to put it out of the defender, put it out off of the defender. Nice to see the Paola be able to do so there.
Unfortunately, though, for Paola, Tonganoxie able to regather possession fairly quickly. Oh, tried to get a scoring chance going there. Paola attempted a clear, wasn't able to get it too far, and Tonganoxie resets from just on this side, and now they'll play it back to their defense.
Ooh, that could have been something there from KJ Paola, putting the defense under pressure. You like to see that.
Gotta like Paola switching it up now, playing a lot more aggressively when Tonganoxie has it on their own defensive side.
They subbed Solis for freshman Troy Leonard. So it'll be interesting to see how the freshman goes out there. If he plays like a walk-on, sort of, how some freshmen do.
Chance coming in. That one leaks itself just a little wide to the left.
It's going to be a corner here.
So that one last touched by Paola. We'll send it to the far side corner. Tonganoxie will try to capitalize and turn this into goal number 3. Paola going to try to keep it close. Centered up. That one ricocheting off a couple of bodies. Shot again on goal, and that one just wide of Bellew, who wisely didn't touch it. So a goal kick upcoming once again for Paola. Great scoring chance there for the Chieftains.
That is exactly the same positioning I saw Bellew have on Tuesday, where even if he doesn't know a whole lot about the ball, where it's going, he put his body in the right spot that it just happens to hit him and stay out. That is a huge positive trait for a goalkeeper to have, and he certainly possesses it.
Just not quite enough on that feed for Tonganoxie, trying to get another scoring chance going. He'll look to center. Does, and well played by the defense of Paola.
Colin Cook on the clear.
And we'll get a whistle as it goes out on the far sideline.
Looks like Tongi are trying to produce those closer shots. They might be realizing that Bellew has no interest in allowing a long shot to get past him. But it's also they've also had to take those long shots because Paola is willing to sit a lot of players back on defense, keep many bodies in front of the goal, and so it's just tough for Tongi. But they're already sitting pretty with a couple goal leads, so they don't have to worry too much. But I do like to see that they're trying to shift here, clearly trying to get passes down in the box to really test Bellew here.
As they'll play it back to their own defense. Sent upfield, still kept in even when Paola is able to get a good foot on it for a clearing attempt. It still ultimately ends up as a Tonganoxie shot. That's when you know the breaks are going your way if you're one of the guys in red shorts out there. But ultimately wide of the net, and we got yet another goal kick upcoming here for the Panthers. 5:50 left to go here in half number 1. It's 2-0 Tonganoxie on top of Paola, and another shot ends up going outside on the Paola goal line.
I like that shot, though. It's always nice to take those long shots right if the ball is turned over from the goal kick. I know I've been criticizing the long shots, but that's one I'm always for because the goalkeeper might not even be standing in the right spot if you can get it off quick enough.
This one goes to the far sideline. Paola unable to play it cleanly, so here comes Tonganoxie the other way. That one ends up past everybody. Paola with a chance to try to clear it. Won't get it out too far, and this one chipped up ahead. Two teams will play catch with it, but ultimately ends up leaking itself out of play. Corner kick upcoming for the Chieftains.
Pretty well defended there by Reidinger. It's a little bit of last-ditch defending, last effort, like that final stretch, but he made it happen and put it behind for a corner, which will allow his teammates to get in position and try to mark up here.
And nicely played by the Paola defense.
I think that was Reidinger again. It was.
Not a whole lot of pink jerseys.
Look at this effort from Reidinger.
This
is still. Sorry, go ahead.
He'll try to play it up 1-on-3 essentially here, but finally the numbers game caught up to him. And now Tonganoxie tries to get it the other way. Pressure coming for Paola. just chipped up ahead, and this should be playable for the Chieftains. But you got to like the pressure being put on from the Panthers here.
I absolutely love that run from Reidinger. Just a little bit of a maybe a little bit mad, a little ticked off, and put that adrenaline, focused it into playing some very nice soccer, making a very fast run down that left side. If only he could have kept it under control, but still a very nice thing to see, and I would say inspiring here for the Panthers.
As this thing ends up back in the Paola end and ultimately out of play.
So something, if this is my team I'm coaching, the adjustment I make there, I don't hate putting it out for the throw because it lets everyone reposition, but he could have played it back to Baloo, who then could play it to an open teammate, and we could be trying to get downfield. Just some distribution errors or maybe mistakes from the Panthers team. And that I haven't met Coach Gallagher, but that does come down to coaching. It really does. You got to tell those guys what to do. And it's I don't know. It's just it's a little bit tough to see because you can see with that run like Reidinger just made. These are capable players, and they've been put in a tough spot here on this squad.
As Baloo will send it up the field, this one playable for Tonganoxie once again, trying to center it up. Paola able to clear it out of the dangerous end. We do have a Paola player who is down, and we finally do get the whistle. Unable to see a number just at the moment.
I think it might be KJ Paulus, but I am not sure. No, it's not because here he is up. I'm not sure who that is.
So we'll step aside for a brief moment and be right back as they tend to the injured player. You're watching Paola Sports Live, presented by Go Brawley.
Looking for a taste of home-cooked goodness in a welcoming hometown atmosphere? Look no further than Circle C Cafe in Paola. Indulge in mouth-watering breakfasts that'll jumpstart your day, or savor the hearty lunches with farm-fresh ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance. Circle C Cafe, where delicious food and friendly faces come together. Stop in and see them at 1305 Baptiste in Paola. Circle C Cafe, hometown flavors, hometown pride. Find them at facebook.com/Circle C Cafe.
Back live here on Paola Sports Live as the injured player able to walk himself off the field under his own power. That is good to see. Ball dropped here for Tonganoxie, who will play it upfield.
It was Jace Reidinger who we were just highlighting for making that very impressive run. Might have been a little tired, but I don't think that played into it. I think the Tongi player really just crashed into him and ended up sending him to the ground. Hopefully he'll be all right and able to return, maybe with an even hotter head of steam.
Yeah. You'd like to at least hope that it wasn't just pure exhaustion when you're going to hit the ground and cover up the way he did. If so, then you need to get some IVs in that kid. But able to hop up, get up off his feet. Like you said, I believe it was more to do with the collision on the play.
There's a flop if I've ever seen one, but the ref's going to call it. No, okay. No, he does get, wow. That truly seemed like a flop to me. The ref's in a much better position, so maybe there was a foul that was simply exaggerated. That was maybe Oscar-worthy.
It's not impossible to have a flop and a foul.
Correct.
Play.
That is something that a lot of people have a misconception about. Sometimes you just have to flop, actually, so that the ref will call it, because otherwise they'll let play continue. You can play advantage. But if you go to the ground after truly being fouled and the referee sees that, then they'll call the foul. So yeah, that's a great point that you make there, Aaron.
And obviously here in soccer, still the more traditional sense of foul calling. Some controversy in the hockey landscape as the professional hockey organization, the NHL, went about, I think it was 2 years ago, made flopping an official call regardless of if you were actually fouled, which is not the case in soccer.
Interesting.
So often you can get both players penalized in an NHL game if they feel like you exaggerated to try to get an official's attention.
I didn't know that. I'm not much of a hockey guy. So you're saying if you get hit, you can't exaggerate it.
You just have to hope a ref sees it.
Yeah, if it trips you, it trips you. If it doesn't, do not go down. Very interesting.
Yeah, if you get slashed in the face, don't fling your entire upper body to the ground and wail like Shakespeare. Then both of you are in the penalty box and you've accomplished nothing. Is essentially how that works. Not how it works in soccer, though, so sometimes you may as well.
No, I sort of like that, but that's interesting. There is a foul. It's called simulation, which is if you purely flop, you were not fouled at all, and the referee completely sees through your attempt to get a foul called, and that was a yellow card every single time. But that could never happen along with a foul. Those are two separate things. That's a very interesting point about that hockey rule. I did not know that, and I like it, actually.
And here comes Tonganoxie the other way.
This is a chance, for sure.
Oh, this is going to be a potential shot on goal. Oh, that's wide open, and another one of my fictional three-pointers, Reed. That ended up off the football crossbar again and straight down.
I can't believe that. Right at the end of halftime, Lachlan, the senior, and their number 9, which is a typical striker number, with that amazing chance, completely blasted over from just less than 10 yards out. Unbelievable end of the half.
It's definitely nice to have a 2-goal lead after something happens like that. Otherwise, the heart ends up somewhere in the pit of your stomach after one of those. But as it stands, 2-0 Tonganoxie at the half. We'll hear from a few of our sponsors and be back with the halftime show presented by Go Brawley.
State coordinates of new land acquisition.
Oh, well, you know that big oak tree that got struck by lightning?
Negative.
The barn with the funny cow mural?
Negative.
One-eyed scarecrow?
Negative.
Giant water tower? You're not from here, are you?
I've never seen him.
Robots don't know you. We do.
Hey, how's your dad doing?
For over 80 years, we've built relationships first and plans second. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Rusty Walters in Paola today at 913-294-2737.
Auction Bank community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Bringing the law to your corner. That's Hartley Law Group. Attorney Jerry Hartley and her staff are dedicated to working for the results you want and to help you determine what actions you can take. Specializing in criminal defense, family law, guardianship and adoption, estate planning, probate, and trust litigation. To learn more, call 913-294-4512 or visit HartleyLawGroupLLC.com. The choice of a law firm and attorney are important decisions and should not be based solely on advertisements or websites.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives with innovative care drives us, one patient at a time. Olathe Health. Advanced healthcare. Advancing lives.
If you're off your game because of pain or injury, turn to Olathe Health because orthopedics is our game. Joint repair and replacement, chronic conditions and injuries, hand surgery, sports medicine. Make an appointment today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stowe with Paola Vet Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Back live at halftime here, Paola Sports Live. The Panthers find themselves down 2-0 to the Tonganoxie Chieftains. However, it has been all Tonganoxie in the first half. It has been a spectacular effort on the back end by Ballou, the Paola netminder. Reed, take us through some of the stuff we saw there in half number 1.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a bit. The lack of distribution is pretty upsetting from Paola because they have some guys downfield. I'm interested to see the Solis / Troy Leonard position, the forward spot that's been standing around the 50. If Coach Gallagher wants to maintain that, or maybe just get them a little bit involved more, I could go for either one. With this game, time's running out. You want to. I understand if they want to push more forward just to see if they can try to make anything happen in this game. I think something else, though, I should probably retract is that I thought this game might be mercy ruled. Seems that Levi Ballou and Paola are. That's not going to be happening today, and so I should absolutely give them credit that is due.
They heard us. They heard us from on the field, and we've upset them, Reed. So now, no choice. You see the big storming back comeback effort coming in half number 2, Reed. Is it on the horizon for our viewers at home?
I want to believe that it is. Something I say is I've seen crazy things happen before, and so of course I believe that I can see them happen again. I just don't know. So many things would have to change for this Paola team. Not that cannot happen, but they would need to change tactically, ideology, what they want to do when they get the ball. There would have to be a major rousing halftime speech from Coach Gallagher, which is absolutely not out of the question, but there would have to be a lot of adjustments for Paola to get back in this one.
As the two teams are starting to make their way back onto the field for some second half warm-ups here. 2-0 right here on Paola Sports Live. Paola tries to mount a second half comeback. They're eyeballing their first win of the year. If they can climb back into this thing, it's the pink out game. You're watching it on Paola Sports Live, presented by Go Brawley. More halftime show coming up after this.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon Smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Hey, call insurance agent.
Insurance agent not found in contact.
Call insurance company.
Insurance company is currently closed. Please call back during business hours. For directions, press 1. For billing, press 2.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
Don't worry, we're going to get this taken care of.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Rusty Walters in Paola today at 913-294-2737.
Looking for a taste of home-cooked goodness and a welcoming hometown atmosphere? Look no further than Circle C Cafe in Paola. Indulge in mouth-watering breakfast that'll jumpstart your day, or savor the hearty lunches with farm-fresh ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance. Circle C Cafe, where delicious food and friendly faces come together. Stop in and see them at 1305 Baptiste in Paola. Circle C Cafe, hometown flavors, hometown pride. Find them at facebook.com/Circle C Cafe.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Back here on Paola Sports Live, just about a minute and a half left in the halftime break as very well could be less than that, as both teams look like they're just about ready here, Reed. What does Paola need to do as we start the second half to climb out of this 2-0 hole?
I'd like to see some formational adjustments, allow all 11 players out there on the field to be involved. It was interesting that it took them going down to 10 to get more involved in the last game I saw them play it. So maybe here out with the 11, if they allow everybody to be behind the ball to then try to counter, that could definitely pay dividends here in the second half. I was just going to say 2-0 is not a game over by any means.
Should someone just go ahead and substitute themselves out now, Reed? Is that what I'm hearing is the appropriate strategy?
No, they just Solis should stay out there. He just needs to play more of a midfield role as he did on Tuesday, because I know that he is super capable, and currently the role that he's being asked to play is sort of canceling him out from this game.
As a early turnovers, Paola tried to get it going the other direction, but Tonganoxie quickly able to take possession right back. They'll play it into Paola's end, but that thing's going to be poked toward the far sideline, kept in by Paola. We'll try to turn it into an offensive rush.
Here's Solis.
Turn back over to Tonganoxie.
Ooh. Falls back for him, though.
Again, Paola able to get control back. And once again, it feels like a game of catch between the two squads here at midfield in the early going, but now Tonganoxie able to get firm control of possession. See if they try to turn it into a shot.
Interesting.
I think he tried to feed that through to his invisible friend along the near sideline, and that thing ends up as a goal kick.
Not even, or now we are a minute in. I think that those first few seconds there for Paola were some of the better, more connected play we've seen furthest down the field. So 60 seconds in, some positive signs. I like it.
This thing ends up sort of near the middle of the field there. Dangerous territory, as there was a lot of white jerseys in the area, and this could be trouble. Paola able to get back to it, though, winning the initial race. But again, just so many Tonganoxie players in the area, and a little too much on that pass sends it out of play. This will be a very, very deep throw-in for Paola from their own end.
And it looks like Reitinger is going to take it. It's off screen for you guys, but we can see it here. That is a good sign, as he was the player who left injured in the first half. Good to see that he is back out there.
This one is played near corner, pops up into the air. Still a free-for-all. Finally, Tonganoxie able to maintain a possession here. They'll pass it back to their defense.
I'll be interested to see if Tongi want to make any changes. We talked about their longer shots were not really looking very likely. But with the lead, they might be saying, why not? Ooh, this is a nice ball here. It looks like it's going to have just a little too much, but I like that idea. And here's going to be a throw-in in a good spot for Paola. But I was saying Tongi, they might change their offensive tactics, and it could make this game get a little bit more lopsided potentially. But I have not actually seen many differences so far here, just a couple minutes in.
Paola trying to turn this into some momentum going onto their end. Like when you're playing foosball and someone starts beating you, so you decide to be a sore loser about it, and you sort of kind of tilt the table toward their direction. That's what Paola's looking to do here. But Tonganoxie now able to get firm control of it and send it back near midfield.
But just imagine what a goal for Paola would do here, however it were to come. I mean, that's right back in this match. So I would just, if they can try to push downfield, it could be hugely momentous.
Can't leave guys wide open right there, though. Paola defense able to prevent even a shot from being taken, so that was well played initially. Or well played, but initially looked like it was going to be a wide open shot attempt coming from Tonganoxie. That one just a little too far.
And the inaccurate passes on break opportunities are killer. There's been a lot of those, and it's being handed a chance to make a counter and saying, no, I think I'll pass, which the passes have been the problem. Just mildly inaccurate can sometimes be really bad when you're talking sideline margins.
As Tonganoxie, it looked like Paola's number 13, that's Xander Holdsworth, lost sight of the ball there for a moment. Tonganoxie capitalized.
It's always a tough feeling, like I know it's right next to me, but where the heck actually is it? And normally by the time you have spun enough to locate it, somebody else who had a better view of it has taken it and it's gone.
So Paola will try to play it in from deep in their own end. Interesting technique there from Reitinger. As that one ends up out of play.
I believe for a corner.
That's what everyone's setting up for. That's where the ball is being spotted.
So I'm noticing here Solis, his position has not changed. He is still around the 40-50 yard line. So going to be the same tactical style on offense for the Panthers here, at least for the start of this second half.
That one ended up over the head of everybody on either squad, and Tonganoxie will try to reset entirely. So here comes Paola the other way, a little too much on that pass. And that has been a big part of the story here today, is once again left wide open, near side, ends up putting that thing off the side of the football crossbar. Not the crossbar, actually, but the upright, and ends up out of play.
Something I'm seeing here, though, so far, 5 minutes in now, is Paola is pretty open in a good way when it comes to trying to get downfield. There are teammates to pass to. So far, those passes have been a little bit inaccurate, but there really weren't even numbers before in the first half. So I think there has been an adjustment to get a little more forward, and if we can get some good luck or just a nice technique on a pass, maybe there could be a good counter chance here for the Panthers.
As this one will be playable by Tonganoxie. Going to try to create a shot off of it. Blocked nicely by Paola.
Cruz Guzman there. Very nice play.
And I also do apologize for constantly referring to number 37 here near side as the open player. But as occasionally happens to us in this business, no 37 on my Tonganoxie roster. So until I am notified otherwise, he will be referred to as the open player.
Interesting. I thought you were going to say that you might have called Danica Jakowski, number 37, he a couple times, but no, it was an unexpected call on the other team's 37 not being listed on the roster. Didn't see that one coming.
So that one skims off the hair there of Paola's KJ Paulus and ends up back on the Paola end of play. That thing's going to... The ball had a rough day at practice, so it's got to run hills. So we'll get a replacement ball in there.
Speaking a little more to that, the pronoun thing, it just reminded me a couple days ago when Connor Barnum got sent off. The typical phrase is 10 men. That's what you always say when a team is playing one player down. But when they had a couple females out there on the field, it's not a team of 10 men. It's a team of 10 players. So I just had to, adjust the wording there.
As this one comes near side. Shot a little high.
Kick is good, though.
Yeah,
those uprights have been involved more than Tonganoxie would probably like.
Tomorrow night, that's a three-pointer right there. Not even my fictional three-pointer. The classic other sport kind, as we're about 7 and some change into half number 2.
Solis subbing out here for a new face, Isaac Ramirez, freshman.
Paola attempting to get some of the momentum back onto their own end here. As much as they have played much better here to start the second half, it has still been a lot of action on this side of the field, which Paola surely is going to want to get changed as we head through the second half here.
It's a harsh reality, but unfortunately, the bar for much better isn't very high, it's harsh but true. Unfortunately, it's just been that kind of season, but it's all right. These Panthers are playing their hearts out here.
This one comes back toward the goaltender and will be playable upfield for Tonganoxie. Sent to the far sideline. Might have been a little too firm. And
just kept it in.
Able to get... That would have been quite a break for Paola. Free pass to a throw-in on the other team's side of the field while they were just matriculating.
Here's a turnover here. This could be a counter chance. Oh, Sawyer Holdsworth just didn't quite know what to do with it. Turned it over there.
So here comes Tonganoxie the other way, and darn it, 37. Always involved in the offense and always not on my roster. What a shame. And thanks to some information I have just been given up here in the booth, that would be senior Jackson McWilliams, listed as number 1 on our roster, but wearing 37 today.
Now, good to know. Now we've got a name.
Now we've got a lovely name for our omnipresent forward.
A name to the number as opposed to a name to the face.
Yes. The face is much harder to see from way up here. the number's nice and bold and red as that one gets all the way across. Oh,
Ooh.
nearly a scoring chance. Tonganoxie will have to reset to try to get a shot off. Comes back toward the defense, and Tonganoxie will have to reset.
That was a unique shot attempt from Gavin Shoop there. Tried to maybe hit it with both feet, a little bit like a foosball character, as you referenced before. Didn't quite come off for him.
He doesn't have the same kind of rotations midair that those foosball players.
Maybe he should have tried spinning, you know.
That would have been the ideal technique, but I'm just not sure how many people can pull it off.
Wow.
As Tonganoxie, lots of bodies hitting the turf. I haven't seen a ref hand go any direction whatsoever at this point.
Yeah,
so
that first one truly did seem like a foul. That second one absolutely was not. And either way, it seems like referees are not going to be awarding a penalty to Tongi. Interesting.
it all evens out.
Yeah, I wonder what the thought process there was on that second flop, maybe thinking that the referee would think more thoroughly about that first one, because it was very blatant. It was by players on the ball, now Caden Albert. But just, I don't know. That was interesting. An interesting sequence of events.
Tonganoxie with the takeaway is going to try to turn it into offense. Paola playing much better defensively here in the second half. Able to take away a lot of these possessions for Tonganoxie on their end and poking away that scoring chance. However, even with their ability to get in the shooting lanes and take away the multi-pass offensive efforts, as you're seeing right here, it is still play taking place on this end of the field as that ball ends up onto the track far side.
It's a
Goal kick upcoming.
It's a pretty stout defensive performance, though, so far in the second half. I would say mainly on the back of Jace Reitinger, the junior, who was luckily not hurt too bad in that first half. They've kept a lot of shots away from happening, stopping them before they can even occur, which is exactly what we were talking about, the kind of help that goalkeeper Baloo should be being given. Is, you know, they shouldn't have to be making all kinds of saves. And it's been a nice defensive effort. If they could get some offense in there as well, they could really make this a game, as we've got quite a lot of time left here for some good soccer.
Tonganoxie is going to try to take that time and add to their lead as we continue on to this end, but that one off of the chest of McWilliams and out of play. So Paola will throw it in from their own side.
It's clear to see that Tongi is not satisfied with the 2-0. Their appetite has not been satiated. They are interested in putting more goals up on that scoreboard, certainly not sitting back in this one.
What you do like to see, I mean, you don't want to see teams just rest on their laurels, put their hands in their pockets, and wait for 40 minutes to go by. Nice to see high effort still being displayed by both of these teams in a 2-goal soccer game here.
I absolutely agree. I think it's actually a bit of a sign of respect. We're going to keep playing you. If they were to sit back, they would just say, we know we've got you beaten. You can't do anything about it. But instead, they're playing it as if Paola could get back in this game, which they can. Which is, like as I said, a sign of respect. You do like to see it.
Reed, as a former player yourself, how did you take when stuff like that happened, when it feels like you were outmatched by an opposing team, but that team did just continue to give you their best effort right up until the final whistle? Was it a frustration and they're trying to show us up, or did you take it as a sign of respect and, all right, well, I guess at least they gave us their best to the end? How did you take that as a player? It
really always comes down to the personalities of your opponents. If they're doing this to rub it in, then of course you're going to be upset, and that's when you get into dangerous territory where someone might commit a foul, get a yellow or a red card. But if they are taking it with grace, they're having fun, but they're not being jerks about it.
Oh, dangerous chance.
Baloo falls on that well. As long as they're not being jerks about it, you can, of course, shake their hand at the end of the game and say, you know what, you played a great game and you beat me, good job. So it comes down to the variable of how does your opponent win? Are they a sore winner, as it might be, or do they win with grace? Hopefully. And I would say, by the way that Paola has been reacting here, they don't seem to be too upset with how this is going. I would hope that's a credit to Tonganoxie and that they are, being kind in just the lead. I was going to say victory, but there's a lot of soccer left. Just in having this lead at the moment.
We saw in one of our more recent broadcasts a very near comeback in the final few minutes. That was during, I'm trying to remember the last game we did together. I believe it was Eudora and, who were they?
Was that Lewisburg? It was, wasn't it? The 1-0 game?
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Eudora Lewisburg, because I just forgot to do my job on camera.
There was a lot of action from the team that was down 1-0 near the end of the game.
It is certainly that game, yes. Lewisburg, they made a formational adjustment. They gave up on having 4 defenders, went to 3, pushed to having 4 midfielders, and it really opened up the game. It was really nice to see. Something like that is what I would love to see here today by Paola's coach. Just a small adjustment, just actually pulling someone back, which could sound counterintuitive for getting forward, but it's really what they need because they need more passing avenues in order to get out of pressure. And so that's something I would love to see here today that could allow Paola to start making counterattacks, as they were able to do on Tuesday in their loss against Lewisburg.
As this one ends up back near the middle, Paola jerseys, though, abound in the area. However, just punting it square out of bounds.
I'm cool with that clearance, though. There was some pressure there. It's going to allow the numbers to drop back.
Tonganoxie will throw it in. Sent upfield. Lots of pink in the area.
Wow.
And it takes away the passing lane. Whistle blows, though.
Might be because he went to the ground. I don't know if that is. We've seen multiple slide tackles today, so I'm really actually not sure. I think that's completely allowed, and I don't know what was the call there.
It seems like they're spotting it well away from where that slide took place as well. So
yeah,
foul must have been called away from the ball. As Paola able to get this one across midfield. Deep across midfield. This is going to end up on the foot of Jose Marino.
There's a player down for Tongi. It was an apparent head injury, which is supposed to always have play immediately stop. Now it looks like it might be a shin. No, it is. Yeah. Anyway, that was why play was stopped. See if this is
Cademan Albert, who's trying
senior.
to. Looks like he's trying to shake it off down there. We'll go ahead and stay right here because it looks like he'll hop right on off. They'll substitute in number 3, Aiden Van Middlesworth.
Had a pretty nice shot earlier today. Just didn't come off, only barely.
As we await play to resume, it should be back down on the Tonganoxie end.
Oh, no, I would agree, and it does not seem that it is going to be. It's going to be a drop ball to Tongi, who's I would assume is going to send it long to Paola in an act of sportsmanship, as they will. I'd love to see that. Unfortunately, though, it was miscontrolled, and Tongi has no problems, no moral issues with just taking it and turning it into an attack.
Sportsmanship lasts for all of 3 seconds.
Yes, it's sportsmanship, but you better control it.
As Tonganoxie goes far side, scoring opportunity coming here, near side, hit the goalpost and rolls out of play. Nice scoring chance there. Aiden Van Middlesworth just into the game after the injury, and he's already got a very nice scoring chance. That was very close.
For the sake of this crowd, which actually has been a little bit hostile, I'm sort of glad that one didn't go in off of the supposed to be sportsmanship-like clearance. That could have been a little bit upsetting. So probably a good thing that Van Middlesworth's shot was just a little bit off there.
As Tonganoxie will control on the Paola end. That one over everybody, rolling to the far corner. The race is on for it now. Tonganoxie winning the race. Couldn't keep it inbound, though. So Paola with a very, very deep throw-in incoming.
A sub that has been long in the waiting is going to be happening now. And Solis will be coming back in, number 8. He had a pretty significant talking to by someone here on the sideline, so I'll be interested to see if there's maybe some sort of tactical adjustment or style adjustment into how he's going to be playing here.
Thrown in here for Paola. Played along the far side. They're going to have to try to get rid of this thing, but Tonganoxie ever pestering whenever they're in the offensive zone. And it's been trouble for the Panthers all day. Trying to center it up, but there's nothing but pink and black stripes in the area. And now going far sideline, Tonganoxie resets again, sends it to the defense, but taken away by Paola.
That has happened far too many times here. But turns it to a chance here, and don't get ahead of ourselves.
Paola trying to turn it into an offensive rush, and just too many white shin guards in the way. No passing lanes available, and it's been great defense by Tonganoxie here today, but you've mentioned it a lot. The passing lanes just have not been there, and it has really limited the scoring opportunities for Paola to, I believe, 0 on the game.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is there's a big donut there for shots at the goal. But what I really find upsetting is Solis getting the ball there and turning it over. Not the first time today. If you're going to have a lone forward, completely dedicate someone to being your offense, you'd really like to see him be able to get that right pass and turn the ball upfield. Otherwise, he should just be used in a different way that could be more effective. Because as I've said a few times, I know he is a great player, the leading goal scorer for this team. He knows what he's doing, and so just it seems like he's been put in a tough spot here. And it's not working out too well.
As Tonganoxie will get the throw in. They'll keep it on their own side as we're almost halfway through second half action here. Score remains 2-0 as it was at the halftime break. This one's sent upfield. Tonganoxie will try to chase it down, but this one will end up out of play.
Sort of funny that it's still 2-0 because I remember when it became 2-0, I said, well, we can forget about them trying to become the second team to Paola trying to turn Tonganoxie into the second team in which they have held to under 3 goals on the season. I said, oh, that's not going to happen. They've got a chance here. 20 minutes, it's a long time, but it could absolutely happen here.
That one pops up into the air and out of play.
I was worried that might have been commentator curse, but goes wide of the post. So if it happens later on, you can't blame me.
The entire stadium would have just slowly turned their heads up towards the booth. It would have been some of the most startling stuff we've ever seen. We're very fortunate.
It is dangerous, though, because before I had said it wasn't going to happen, which, if you believe in jinxes would mean it was going to happen. I have now flipped that switch, so I guess I could be blamed, perhaps, if it doesn't happen anymore.
Regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be mad. As is the way that it goes. As Paola will try to take this one away. Try to turn it into some offense, but again, just not a whole lot of passing lanes available. They do still have possession, though. They'll try to get it up near midfield, and right on cue, Tonganoxie able to generate the takeaway.
I actually was a huge fan of that passing decision. That was a player in a lot of space trying to get downfield. I thought that was the exact right person to pick out. And just a total lack of control on the ball there ended with it getting turned over.
That one ends up out of play off of a Paola shin guard. So there should be a Tonganoxie throw in on the offensive end. No, they're going to say free kick.
And it's
that
a
one's
shot.
Going to end up on net and saved by Bilou, including the rebound. He took everything away.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, now that I think about it, I can recall there was a whistle. I don't remember seeing what the foul was, though. But regardless, Bilou did well to catch it and also catch his rebound and keep the score at 2-0.
As Tonganoxie will now play it back into the Paola end. Sends it far side.
Some nice passing.
That one's rolling towards the sideline. Going to need to be careful with it, and it rolls out of play.
Creative play style, though, there from Tonganoxie. I do like to see good soccer, even if it is against our good guys here today. But, yeah, in the end, this is, as I said, a very stout performance here in the second half. Paola has been where the ball is going. We're been ready to clear it away. There have not been many shots at Bilou. I mean, beyond the free kick, which was an open opportunity that no one could block. I can't really remember another shot, but there was the Van Middlesworth. There was that other one, but other than that, I don't think there's been a shot this second half. Pretty impressive considering that first half was shot after shot after shot after shot, albeit from long distance. Those can still test your goalie, and that has not really been the case here in this second half.
Well, another big part of it has been Tonganoxie has, as you kind of said in the first half, you weren't a huge fan of the way they were taking a lot of the long shots against a goaltender who seemed up to the task here today. It does seem like Tonganoxie has come out here in the second half and heeded your advice. They're trying to pass their way into the scoring zone, but Paola has come ready to take away the passing lanes.
No, I think you're exactly right. I think they understand They were like, okay, game recognized game. You can stop those long shots. And so they're trying to get in on goal. And as Paola are comfortable leaving 10 men, or I guess it would be 9, and also players, 9 players back behind the ball, that means that it's been tough for Tonganoxie to get through.
Playable upfield. Paola tries to turn this into a rush.
I'd love to see Solis make a nice run here.
Now some reinforcements coming for the boys in pink, but this one ends up ahead and right into a Tonganoxie possession.
Yeah, I liked the idea from Holdsworth there, but Solis was not actually in a position to be on the end of that. So Holdsworth was more just playing it and hoping that Solis would be able to get to it, which isn't a terrible idea, but didn't work out in the end.
Ball still loose. No whistles yet. Now a whistle, and we get a call. Paola politely disagreeing initially, but then just kind of reluctantly moving back to their defensive position.
The free kick was taken by the senior number 37, Jackson McWilliams, and found the head of Jamison Brightsman, the sophomore, and he couldn't do anything with that free header. He did very well to jump up and rise to the occasion of that cross in, but couldn't get his forehead on it, just sort of grazed the top of his head and out for a throw.
So Paola will get the throw in from once again deep in their own territory. They've had quite a number of these here today, and they'll take yet another one.
Getting downfield a little bit, though. Maybe a 10-yard gain on the play.
See how many times you can do that. Just whip it off a shin 20 yards downfield and slowly work your way up like that.
Here could be a chance. Love that ball.
Or do it the traditional way.
Man, I got to say, the more that Solis ends up either inadvertently or unintentionally turning over the ball, the more I question why he is the one that Coach Gallagher has decided to play that lone forward role. He's so capable in midfield. I just love to see someone different up there playing that position.
As this one's centered up, and that one goes skyward. Back into the field of play.
Off the left crossbar.
That football goalpost is getting quite a workout here today.
Yeah, sort of interesting how much it's been involved. I've been on many a soccer football field where they've got both, and I have never seen the uprights be involved as much as they have been today by the Tonganoxie offense.
So one thing I used to do when I played football in high school, my senior year, I was our place kicker.
Okay.
That was the state of our kicking situation at the time. I could make extra points, and that was about my max distance. But one thing we used to do is we used to warm up during practice, hit both uprights and then the crossbar. You tried to...
Did you really?
To do accuracy training. We'd hit both uprights and the crossbar.
That's impressive.
It feels like that's kind of what Tonganoxie has just started doing halfway through this game. Like they're like, hey, watch this one. Left, middle, upright. Bang! Because, like, if this is on purpose, this is some of the most incredible kicking I have ever seen in my life here today, Reed.
Mm-hmm. I was that kicker as well. I never did such tight margin accuracy training. I was just trying to get it between the uprights. But that's if you're saying you were able to hit the uprights intentionally, you would aim for it and hit it?
About like 30% of the time.
That
was
is
just
impressive.
The goal we were trying to achieve.
That is, I will commend you for that.
That one ends up out of play. Down to about 13 minutes left to play here, Reed, is Paola. The miracle is getting slimmer and slimmer, but still plenty of time left. But Paola desperately needs to flip play and get their first shot on goal here tonight.
Yeah. It's going to come down to, take this shot.
That one ends up off the goalpost, a race for it, and nicely defended there by Jace Rittinger.
Wow, I'm not sure if Ballou got something on that or not, but in the end it came off that inside left post, and the rebound could not fall to the foot of the senior Jackson McWilliams. That was a very nice shot there. Nearly beat Ballou, but he still has yet to be beat from long distance.
I mean, if you were a Tonganoxie fan and given the opportunity, hey, draw up your perfect rebound scenario. I mean, would you have designed anything differently than the ball ending up right there?
No, that was a great opportunity, and Paola stout this second half got in front of it.
You got to appreciate the hustle from Rittinger too in a game. His team's down 2-0, but absolutely, I mean, he had rocket fuel coming out of his cleats.
He showed
coming
that
back to help his goaltender.
He showed that in the first half when he had that 50-yard run downfield. He did not come here to sit down and die. He is going to absolutely make his mark on this game, whatever that ends up being. And I love that. I love to see that from the junior number 6.
As the cross attempt there ends up off the head of a Tonganoxie player and out of play. So goal kick coming here for Paola.
If we are going to see something happen in this game for Paola, as I'll let you take this over, Aaron.
This one ends up in scoring position. Chance for McWilliams, and he just showed off how strong his leg was on that one, but not particularly close to the goal. Another goal kick upcoming.
It is going to have to be Zayden Solis making an impact. The sophomore forward has been, I've been critical. I will not pretend like I have not been. If he can get a nice touch, a nice pass, a nice run, something, Paola will have a chance in this game. But if that doesn't happen, certainly a foul there, then this game will either end with a similar or worse scoreline relative to the Panthers' persuasion.
So we've seen a couple of, as you've indicated from the booth, decent acting performances here today. That one, the least among them.
No, that was certainly, his ankle was wrapped there.
And solid breakdancing there from number 44, Isaac Ramirez, but unfortunately not a great deal of soccer taking place on that particular play.
Had the Tongi player been aware of what was going on there, might have stuck an ankle out, flopped to the ground, and handed Ramirez a yellow card, but didn't do so, so he gets away with that errant challenge. And here, interesting, Zayden Solis being subbed off for Brig Sherman, a freshman forward. So maybe some new inspiration there on the field. The third different freshman that Coach Gallagher has put in that forward position today.
Scoring chance here for Tonganoxie, broken up by Paola.
Ridinger yet again. Whistle here.
And we got some Tonganoxie players finger pointing, but
seems like it's coming out. So they're saying a foul against Ridinger. Ridinger, as I said, not here to lay down and die. He is here to play. Gotta love that.
High effort from number 6 all day today. Definitely had a couple of defensive plays today that will be in the running for our post-game show's absolute painting, absolute play of the game. Stay tuned for that one. We'll also let you know what's coming up on the Paola Sports Live broadcast schedule. And the refs say play on as some of the fans are letting the officials know that they politely disagree.
Yeah, that was Brig Sherman, the freshman forward I was just highlighting, and I do think that he was shoved to the ground there, but he was off ball, so it's unlikely the referee was looking there. So even though it does feel like a foul, it's tough to ask a two-man non-professional crew to see that, and that's going to be what the ref is going to voice here to Coach Gallagher, saying, I can't see everything. You got to let it. I apologize. It might have been a foul, but I just can't see it all. You're going to have to let it go. I'm sorry.
No instant replay at the high school level.
Right, and it's a tough spot the refs are in because obviously these games matter. These games are important to coaches, players, fans, but they can only do so much.
And obviously, as fans, as broadcasters, there tends to be a natural tendency to let the officials know when we, as I keep saying, politely disagree with their calls. However, obviously, we should also shout them out for some of the good that they are doing out here. Of course, at the high school level, a lot of these officials volunteering some of their time so that a lot of these student athletes can participate in the games that they love. And tonight, we've just got a two-man crew out here, but for the most part, doing a pretty solid job.
Yeah, I would say it's been a well-called game, really. And even if that was a missed foul, no one is going to be perfect out there. It does not discount from the overall performance being consistent, which is something I'm big on, is consistency from a referee. At least I know what to expect, what is and what is not a foul. And I think they've been pretty good today.
As that one ended up out of play. So we'll get a Tonganoxie throw in. Sent deep into the Paola side.
Whoa.
And near side.
Sawyer Holdsworth hit very hard off that ball. See, is the ref going to call that? No call. Interesting. I can see how that was clean. It was all shoulder to shoulder. It just was a jerky motion in the end, which can sometimes when you see somebody get pushed fast, it feels like that needs to be a foul. But I think that was clean physical play there.
Sometimes a good aggressive snuggle is just needed. That one ends up out of play. 7:30 left to go in the ball game. Still 2-0 Tonganoxie as Paola trying to shift the play toward the other end of the field. This one's just going to wind up right back onto the track.
Ridinger eagerly took that throw in, got it into Sawyer Holdsworth. He wanted to try to make something happen. And then another defender was just trying to send it downfield, likely looking for the forward up here that is Briggs Sherman, and just hit the wrong part of his foot and went out for a throw, unfortunately.
This one sent back into play. Tonganoxie chance at a shot on goal here, right in front, but again defended nicely by Paola. Not out of danger yet. Thing is still loose on their side, and finally Paola able to poke that one out of play. Lots of potential chances for Tonganoxie, but man, that defensive wall by Paola was doing a spectacular job protecting their goaltender.
Amazing defensive work there. I'll take the chance to highlight number 39, Kylie Park. She got in there, made that last block that got sent out for a throw. Definitely some nice play out there from all of the Paola defenders collectively, stopping any of those shots from being Baloo's responsibility. And that is going to be a foul, potentially a card.
Ooh.
It looks like this game might be getting a little testy. Obviously, we're not down the field. We might be having that thing that I was saying before of the personality of how the opponent wins is what really matters into if you get upset or not. Maybe there's a little bit of cockiness coming out from this Tongi side, which you can't say isn't deserved. They've played a good game.
This one ends up back toward the middle. I think where some of the animosity felt like it grew from the sideline over here was Cademan Albert with a bit of the Kobe Bryant step over after his opponent was on the ground, decided to go over him rather than around him to get back into position.
I think, too, that it's a little bit infectious. This crowd, as I mentioned earlier, actually, has been a little bit hostile the entire game, which, of course, you know, when it's your kid out there, it means more to you. You can't fault them for that. But it felt like the players were being more calm than the fans, than the parents when controversial things were happening, and maybe that sort of spilled over onto the field. I see a couple subs going down. Solis has come back onto the field, replacing Briggs Sherman. And Kylie Park has also left the field, as well as KJ Powlis.
So after the substitutions, goal kick upcoming, sent up the field, playable for Tonganoxie.
Just under 5 minutes left here in this match. Try to see if Paola can find a way back in as time is running out.
Here comes Tonganoxie upfield as they'll try to turn this into the final nail in the coffin for the ball game, as we're now down to 4.5 left to play. It would take something of a small miracle here for Paola to get back to a tie ball game at this stage.
It's not impossible, though. Here's a shot
just wide of the net.
They say a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in this sport, and that sometimes you just give it up because you give up that one goal and you have the mindset of, oh, we're fine, we're all right, we don't need to change anything, and then boom, you get hit with the second because that other team just got a goal. They've got all the momentum, all the excitement. So you're right to say it's growing more and more unlikely, but it is not impossible. I have seen crazy 2 goals like back-to-back happen many a time, actually. It is not an uncommon occurrence. It would be amazing to see Paola pull something off like that.
This one's sent in here for Tonganoxie. Played back to their netminder.
Now as this game is getting closer to the end and the score is a little bit threatening in terms of Paola not being out of this game, Tongi might start to consider playing it back just a little bit and trying to see out the remainder of this game without anything going wrong.
This one trying to play it ahead, but Paola just pokes that one out of play. So a Tonganoxie throw-in incoming from the near sideline. And actually, how about the hustle from Tonganoxie to get it back in play? Maybe not what we necessarily expected, being the score and time remaining.
No, there might be some players out there that could be getting some unexpected minutes thinking, I got to get my goal. Not sure, but just potentially from the body language and effort that we're seeing out there that would...
A shot just wide of the net.
That the scoreline might not normally induce. Couple subs here. Briggs Sherman coming right back onto the field, as well as KJ Paola. They came off not 2 minutes ago, going right back out there for the Panthers. Let's see who's coming off here.
As a goal kick upcoming here for Paola.
Troy Leonard, who just went on, coming back off. And it looks like Ramirez was the other player to come off. So interesting, maybe Coach Gallagher thinking better of whatever change he just made, or maybe that was all he wanted, to give those players a breather. Either way, they're back out there, and they've got a chance to impact this game as it comes towards the conclusion.
They're trying to get that one across midfield, but there were no pink jerseys on that end to go rally to it, so Tonganoxie able to just play it back and play a little pitch and catch amongst their defenders.
I like to see Paola's putting some pressure on the keeper, though. Don't let it be easy. This is something Paola could have done all day. Look at all these numbers they've got on the attacking side of the field. This is how you do it here.
That one ends up being poked out of play, so Paola.
They win a throw. Come on. I'm feeling some momentum here. Let's go.
Paola sends it in. Playable upfield, but finally taken away by Tonganoxie, who will now try to waste the final minute and 17 seconds of the ball game.
He got clipped there. That was a foul. And I would imagine Tongi will slow this game down a little bit.
Now, do you play this one to pass it to someone open, and that is what they're
I would
gonna
imagine,
do.
yes. Yeah, no need to send it forward. But as they inch down the field now, though, sometimes teams like to go to that corner flag where they'll sit there and in no area of danger to themselves and try to just see out the game. Tongi seemed like they were trying to do so, but Paola wouldn't let it happen.
Tonganoxie sends this one back towards the center. Whistle blows. Shot after the whistle.
Not sure what the commotion is all about here. I think Reidinger may have gotten a yellow card just based on the fact that he's being made to leave the field, and he seems pretty upset. I'm assuming that was a yellow there.
Yes.
Reidinger has been very involved in this game, trying to potentially fill that void left from Connor Barnum being suspended. And he picks up himself a yellow card here in this last minute. I think he can feel all right about that. He had a good performance today, and it got a little upsetting at the end, as can happen with a close loss like this.
As it will be a free kick, I do believe.
It will be, yes. Basically a corner.
Very nearly a corner. With a little 5 extra yards of bonus added on.
After the referee had a good long talk with Coach Gallagher, we'll go and whistle for play to resume with 31 seconds left.
Sent back toward the middle. Shot on goal. Saved by Leah Ballou.
That would have been a crusher had this game ended 3-0. That would have felt unjust on the day. So good to see Ballou get a couple hands on that, comfortably keep it out of his net, and keep the score where it is.
So clock winding down. We're into the final 10 seconds here. It's looking like a Tonganoxie victory as they will get their 6th victory on the season as we hit the triple zeros. The Chieftains take it 2-0 over Paola. Paola put up quite a fight in this one, but ultimately fall to 0-15 on the year. We'll be back for some post-game breakdowns. Right after this, you're watching Paola Sports Live, presented by Go Brawley.
Call insurance agent.
Hello, customer.
Oh, great. I just had a quick question about my insurance.
You are 312th in line.
2737. For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
Oh, hi, honey. Hi, Grandma. I'm really sorry. I won't be able to make it today. I have way too much homework, and you don't have enough internet.
Oh, honey, I gotta go. I gotta go. Oh, I need more internet in my house.
Well, you could have just called, right?
Oh.
Call Go Brawley today.
If you're going to wear jewelry, shouldn't it be as unique as you? At Wilson's Jewelers, they can bring your ideas to life. Wilson's can also put old stones in new pieces, or new stones in old pieces, or even just repair what you already love. Wilson's Jewelers brings quality service and old world craftsmanship to the area by learning from jewelry masters from around the world. For 30 years, Wilson's Jewelers has been family owned and operated. When it comes to your adornments, trust Wilson's Jewelers, your personal jeweler.
Introducing Fade Strong Barbershop, where style meets tradition.
What's going on, everybody? Mitch Lightfoot here. Super pumped, getting my haircut before my wedding on Saturday. Josh is my guy to go to. Got my haircut by him before my wedding. Got my haircut by him before a national championship. Beard, hair, everything. He's the guy to go to. Hit him up. Paola, Kansas, baby. Let's do it.
Fade Strong Barbershop. Elevate your style today.
Welcome back to Paola Sports Live post-game show. Paola falls to Tonganoxie 2-0 here on Pink Out Night. Reed, it was a great effort by Paola, particularly in the second half, and especially from that defensive line from Paola. Got to give a shout-out to number 6, Jace Rediger. He was all over the place defensively. However, it just didn't accumulate into any sort of offense on the other end, and they ultimately fall here today 2-0. What did you see out there from Paola that maybe they can build upon going forward?
What they can build upon is they've got a nice goalie in Levi Ballou. The distribution is not there, as is the case with this whole team, but that's not the primary job of a goalkeeper. The primary job is to keep the ball out of the goal, as is in the name. And Ballou does actually a very solid job of that, even though they've let up countless goals on this season. It feels like it's more just down that they're constantly, the momentum is constantly against them. The waves are crashing on the shore of their goalie box to paint a picture there, and it's not on Ballou that these games have been a little lopsided, and it's been a tough season. But they've got a nice goalie, Reidinger, ton of effort. Love to see that. And that second half was really good. They opened up more. They made some very nice blocks. Whatever happened in those last 3 minutes is really something to build on, because they started to push down the field, and there was some effort in the players that wasn't there. There were a few times, I don't know if you noticed, but where there was maybe a loose ball, and the Paola player just seemed like they wanted it less, which is kind of that's a big thing, is want. If you want to get there, it'll happen at least every once in a while. And there was a lack of want out there until those last few minutes. So if they can build on that, capture in a bottle whatever emotions or energy it was that happened there, there could be some positive results going forward this season.
Now, obviously, a big part here for Paola is, you mentioned the play of the goaltender here tonight. One of the issues, though, is that Levi Ballou is a senior. So after this season, no more Levi. You're going to have a new goaltender in there. Obviously, they've got high hopes for Colton Whitney, the freshman who currently on the bench because, as you mentioned, Levi has played so well.
Tyler Corum, a junior as well there.
But other than the fact that their netminder is a senior, it's a very young Paola team. A lot of young players get playing time at the varsity level, which you'd like to hope then leads to some experience that will lead to further success next season. A big part, though, of what I'm noticing here for Paola is you can tell there's a stark difference in the passing game between them and their opponents in the fluidity, the naturalness. Sometimes you watch people play soccer and it just blows my mind. They send these passes and guys just handle it as though there isn't a ball on the field. Like they're playing imaginary soccer and they're just running and the ball is following them like a lost puppy. Paola, it does feel like sometimes when they're passing, there's almost a conscious effort fielding it and sending it of, okay, let's stop it, let's handle it, let's get... What is it going to take as they grow and get experience in this game that's going to create more natural fluidity in that aspect of their game?
I mean, the obvious answer, the cop-out answer as it might be, would be, practice. Practice makes perfect. But something, maybe a more fun or interesting answer to hear might be that the team needs to fall in love with soccer. They need to want to play it for fun. They need to go out in their backyard and play pass because they want to have a ball at their feet. And then when they get the ball at their feet in a game situation, they'll be more comfortable. They'll know what to do with it. They'll know what they're capable of. And so while the stock answer would be practice makes perfect, and they don't have to fall in love with it, I guess. They just need to enjoy it, have fun playing soccer, rather than go out and throw a football around. Go out and kick a ball with your foot for a little bit, and you'll come back the next week and you'll be a little better. And so that's something that the Paola team could certainly work on. I've had a coach sort of prescribe that for me before, if you need to start liking soccer, and it's just watch it. Just watch it on the weekends, find that Premier League game or MLS game and watch that and see what the pros do and be like, wow, look at how good that move is. I want to go and try that. And you go and try that and see if you can do it or find something else. And in the end, just time with the ball at your feet translates to better results out on the field.
So what you're saying is if you were Paola's head coach, it's Peacock subscriptions for the whole team.
Yep.
Everyone's getting you're handing out your password, your email address. You're like, all right, now here's what you do. You go to the sports tab.
You're exactly right.
All right.
A Peacock prescription and maybe the Apple MLS pass, whatever that thing is. I won't lie, I don't have that one. It's a little too much for me. I do have Peacock, though. I love those Premier League games. But yeah, you're exactly right. Just go out there, watch the game. I don't care. Watch highlights on YouTube, whatever it is. Just start enjoying the game. Be interested in it.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, we saw some great play from the defenders. We're gonna pick an absolute painting, absolute play of the game when we come back from the break. So I'll leave that in our viewers' minds and give Reed a chance to think that one over. So when we come back, the absolute play of the game coming at you, as well as a look forward at what's coming up right here on Paola Sports Live in the coming weeks.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Paola and USD 368. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Paola, call 913-294-2110 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Bringing the law to your corner. That's Hartley Law Group. Attorney Jerry Hartley and her staff are dedicated to working for the results you want and to help you determine what actions you can take. specializing in criminal defense, family law, guardianship and adoption, estate planning, probate, and trust litigation. To learn more, call 913-294-4512 or visit HartleyLawGroupLLC.com. The choice of a law firm and attorney are important decisions and should not be based solely on advertisements or websites.
Looking for a taste of home-cooked goodness in a welcoming hometown atmosphere? Look no further than Circle C Cafe in Paola. Indulge in mouth-watering breakfast that'll jumpstart your day or savor the hearty lunches with farm-fresh ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance. Circle C Cafe, where delicious food and friendly faces come together. Stop in and see them at 1305 Baptiste in Paola. Circle C Cafe, hometown flavors, hometown pride. Find them at facebook.com/Circle C Cafe.
Back here on Paola Sports Live, as you look over and, man, the Paola faithful were quick to head on out and shut off the lights on us here. Reed, sometimes it's tough after taking a loss in a close game like that, but you know what? We're in the Kansas area. The Chiefs are playing tonight. I guess I saw some Kelsey jerseys in the stands.
That's a great point.
There are people, they're hustling out of here. They're like, hey, I need to get home, turn on Amazon Prime. Anyhow, we got an absolute painting.
You're just plugging all kinds of services, aren't you?
I am here.
Keep it here on Varsity Sports Live. This is the only place that matters.
That's true. And tomorrow it's going to be popping on Varsity Sports Live. We got all sorts of regional games coming at you. They should all be kicking off at 7 p.m. You can head to our main website, go to the homepage, scroll down to where it says Friday, and every game that's being broadcast tomorrow will all be there in one spot. And, of course, you're going to want to check out Paola, as they'll be in action right here at home against Bonner Springs tomorrow night. I'll be on the call. I believe I'll have Bailey Freeman with me on camera. And Reed, obviously, you'll be on call with Eudora football tomorrow night. Who are the Cardinals playing?
They'll be taking on this same opponent tonight. That is Tonganoxie.
Oh, that should be a offensive explosion of a game. Tonganoxie, obviously, Paola fans got familiar with them a couple of weeks ago. That is an offense that knows how to put points on the scoreboard, and Eudora, obviously, big offensive team as well. That'll be something of a pinball game.
So, speaking of offense, we didn't see a whole lot of it, unfortunately, today from our Paola side, but we did have a nice run, and it is going to be our absolute play of the game from Absolute Painting. The Absolute Play of the Game is brought to you by Absolute Painting. From a fresh coat of paint to refinishing your cabinets, Absolute Painting offers a wide range of services to meet your needs. Revamp your space with their expert painters. Absolute Painting, where quality is absolute. And our play of the game is going to be Jace Reidinger. He had a 40 or 50-yard run with the ball coming down the left side. It couldn't find someone in the end, but it was a very the word I used in the moment was inspiring. It was a moment of, okay, like, we can get going in this game. Somebody believes. When you see somebody else believe, it's always infectious. I want to believe too. If you're going to believe, all right, fine. Maybe let's try in this game. And I think, even though we didn't see a goal go in for the Panthers, I think that there was a good amount of belief on the defensive side of the ball for certain. I do think they were actually lacking in belief on offense. They need a lesson from Coach Lasso to believe. But it was our absolute play of the game one last time is that really nice run from Jace Reidinger down the left side. He had a big impact on this game. We talked about him filling in for the suspended Connor Barnum, and he did so in a pretty nice way, I would say, as Paola was able to hold their opponent to fewer than 3 goals for only the second time this season. So even though I'm sure Paola fans are probably tired of taking moral victories, there is something there to be said about a nice defensive performance without a star senior defender.
And they'll have one more game left on the schedule. We won't be covering here on Paola Sports Live, but if you want to catch them live in action, they've got Fort Scott coming up. One final chance to get a tally in the victory column for the season. You can catch Paola Sports Live tomorrow, as we already mentioned. Reed, it's been a pleasure once again. It was 2-0 Tonganoxie on top of the Panthers. We will see you guys next time. For Reed McAvoy and for Varsity Sports Live, I've been Aaron Feely right here on Paola Sports Live. Thank you all for watching.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
Ladies, do you know what you want to drink?
Ooh, yeah, I'll have the unlimited coffee.
Me too. You got some coffee?
You know, back in my day, unlimited meant there were no limits. But you need a limit.
Tired of paying for unlimited offers that leave you feeling limited? Experience Limitless with Go Brawley.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free, no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com.